Hello and welcome to Learning Business Central with Infusion Solutions. My name is Allison Ferris and I'm a software consultant here at Infusion. To tell you a little bit about Infusion, we've been in the Microsoft channel for over 20 years now. We're located in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we specialize in creative solutions and integrations within the Microsoft stack. We have customers located throughout the U.S. in a variety of industries. We specialize in distribution, not-for-profit, higher education, healthcare, and we have a tailored solution for the wine and spirits industry. We offer consulting services on business processes, integration services, Power Platform development, Dynamics GP support, and Business Central implementation, development, and support. To tell you a little bit about me, my name is Allison Ferris once again, and I'm a software consultant. I'm also a certified Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central functional consultant, and I've been with Infusion for close to a year and a half now, but I've been in the accounting field for over 25 years. I have 3 children, and I recently moved to Tennessee from New York. An interesting fact about me is I've recently been learning to kayak since I live near the lake here, and it's a great place to do so.
Writing off customer amounts in Business Central. I'm going to demonstrate 2 different types of write-offs. The first one being a situation where a customer makes a payment that is slightly off from the invoice amount due. So we can use a feature in Business Central called payment tolerances that will automatically write off that small immaterial difference from the customer's account at the time of payment. So we don't have to worry about carrying those penny differences on the customer's account and manually writing them off at a later date. So to show you this, I'm going to go into Payments, Register Customer Payments, and I'm going to filter down this list, which is all my customers and all open invoices. And I'm going to filter it down to just the customer I'm looking to work with. I'm going to filter by name, and I'm going to use the @ symbol to ignore the case. And then I'm going to just type the first 2 letters of the customer's name. And then an asterisk for a wildcard for the remainder of the characters. And that brings me to a Datum Corporation, the customer I want. And I've got an invoice here that I just entered and staged for $2,418.07. The due date on that invoice is May 11th, and then there's a discount due April 19th. So if the customer pays by the 19th of April, they only owe this lower amount here. Before we make that payment and make the posting, I want to go into the General Ledger setup and show you how we set the payment tolerance and the discount tolerances up. At the very bottom Fast tab, under the Ledger Setup, we've got a payment discount tolerance where we set a grace period of 2 days. So as long as a customer that has a discount term pays within 2 days of the discount due date, we're going to honor that discount and post it. We also have a payment tolerance percentage set up here. So that the percentage that we choose, 0.1% here, that's going to apply to the difference between the payment made and the invoice amount due. So as long as the customer pays within 0.1% of the invoice amount, we will accept it and we'll write that off to a maximum payment tolerance that we set here to $1. And this is that maximum $1 set here. We also have payment tolerance warnings set up, and that will give us a pop-up at the time before we post to give us the option to accept those tolerances or not. So now let's go in here and say that we received our payment on the 21st of April. 2 days, that's 2-day grace period for the discount. And we're going to say we received the $2,369 of the discounted amount, but the customer made a typo and only paid us 41 cents instead of the 71. And the check number we'll put in that the customer paid us with. And let's do a preview of that posting and see what the entries would look like. Our general ledger is going to do a debit to our cash for the exact amount the customer paid. That's the 41 cents. We're going to credit accounts receivable for the full amount of the invoice. We're going to debit interest income for the 30 cents the customer short paid. That's within our payment tolerance of the $1 maximum. And we're also going to debit sales discounts for the full amount of the invoice discount we allowed the customer to take. And that looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and post this. And here's the pop-up. Do you want to post the payment discount tolerance or do not accept the late payment discount? I'm going to post to accept it. And also, do you want to post the balance as a payment tolerance or leave it as a remaining amount on the customer's account? I'm going to post that and write off the tolerance. Okay, now that that's posted, let's take a look at our customer. We'll go into their account and we'll look at their ledger entries to show all their activity. And here's that payment that we just entered on April 21st. And this is the amount we received from the customer. And it was made up of the following: the amount received, the 30 cents short, and the discount. Add up to the total of the original amount of the invoice. And here that is, the invoice it was applied to. If I just scroll over, you see both of those have a remaining amount of 0 because we fully accepted that short payment. We allowed the discount and applied it to the invoice, and now both the payment and the invoice are cleared off the customer's account. Just going to go into another customer here, Tray Research, and show that this customer does not have discount terms. Their terms are a straight 14 days. So let's do register customer payments for Tray Research. And let's say they choose this invoice here. $12.20 is remaining. You can see the remaining amount, including a discount, is exactly the same as the remaining amount. And that's because there is no discount. So let's say we recorded this payment today, and we'll say we received, let's make it $12 even. And for the external document number, we'll enter check number 12323. And let's preview what that would look like. We've got a 3-piece ledger entry here. We're going to debit cash for the $12 even that the customer is paying. We're going to credit off accounts receivable for the full amount of the invoice. Then we're going to debit interest income for the 20 cents that was short paid. And this is what it would look like on a customer that does not involve a discount, but we're still accepting that 20 cents payment tolerance. If I post that, do I want to accept the payment tolerance? Yes. And if I go back into this customer's account and I look at the ledger entries and view that payment, here's the payment of $12 and the amount is broken out into the $12 that was received and the 20 cents written off. And this entry, if we look at the applied entries for it, it was applied to invoice 103195. which is right here. And if I scroll over a tiny bit, here we can see that the invoice has a remaining amount of 0 because it's been fully paid. The payment has a remaining amount of 0 because it was fully applied against this invoice. So it was completely paid off because we accepted that 20-cent difference and wrote that off at the time the payment was posted. All right, the second type of write-off I want to demonstrate is a straight write-off of an invoice or a customer balance. So for that, I'm going to go into my cash receipts journal and I'm going to post a journal entry of a type credit memo, and I'm going to credit it to a customer account type, and I'm going to credit off something for School of Fine Art. And this is going to be a write-off. Leave the amount blank here. It's going to be a balancing account type of a GL, and I'm going to write this off to my bad debt expense GL. Now, to choose the invoice I'm going to write off, this brings up all of my open invoices for the School of Fine Art, the customer I chose in my customer account. I'm going to write off this $12,000. $2,000 of it. Say okay to that. So now you see here, $2,000 I'm writing off. And if I just click back into here and say okay, it pulls that in here to my entry. Now, I could be all set here and just decide to post this $2,000 write-off, but there's another really cool feature here that I'd like to show. And it's why I'm doing this as a journal entry, so that I can do many lines, because typically you'd be doing a set of write-offs maybe at an audit year end or at the end of a month or quarterly. Whenever you review your accounts for write-off, you normally would have probably a list of different invoices and customers that you're going to be writing off at the same time. So we have an option here to, if you hit the share button, you can edit this in Excel. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring my cash receipts journal entry into Excel. I had one already, so I'm just going to replace it with this one. It's going to bring it into Excel and open it up. And it's just going to take a few moments here to make the link. Refreshing and pulling in my data from Business Central. And here you see the line that I entered is here. And this gives me the option where I can just paste in more cash receipts journal entry lines right here in the spreadsheet. And I'll click on Publish. And there we go. That has updated the data back to Business Central. Now if I refresh my page here, now if I go out and back in, it has refreshed and brought in that other line that I entered in the spreadsheet. So I could copy and paste in from another list, another spreadsheet, or a text document, anything I have where I can copy and paste, put that into my Excel document and publish it right back into Business Central, into my cash receipts journal entry here, and post multiples at one time. Now let's take a look at the preview of this posting. I've got my 4 pieces. And that's how I would make a posting to write off multiple customer invoices or balances using a journal entry and Excel to edit and then publish back to Business Central for posting.
If you have any questions, would like more information, or next steps to see how Business Central can help your organization, please send us an email at info@infusion.com or give us a call at 865-688-3434 or visit our website, infusion.com. Thank you for watching.